Simeon, deep drop. Deep ball, Simeon looking for it all. He drops it in the bucket. Emmanuel Sanders, touchdown Broncos.
It's a blitz by the Bengals, man-to-man coverage on the outside, and guess who gets burned again today?
First and goal for Denver, trying to regain the lead. Touchdown! Simeon delivers to Sanders.
An out route by Sanders. Look at the timing, the good protection there, and the ball thrown away from the defense just enough.
Second and goal for the Broncos. Thomas goes in motion. Fake it. Simeon, end zone, touchdown, John Phillips.
But John Phillips celebrating his 5th career touchdown reception.
Denver up by 5. Simeon steps up. Simeon dials up the deep ball. Demaryius Thomas, he's got it. Touchdown.
Lewis Harris to the inside, reaches for the ball. Tight coverage by Lewis Harris, but not tight enough.
Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Broncos Fanatic right here. I've been out of town this whole week, so it was hard to get a video. The Broncos and the Bengals game. I didn't even get to watch the game. I watched highlights of the game. And I saw that Trevor went off 4 touchdowns, over 300 passing yards. C.J. Anderson struggled a little bit, looks like. Emmanuel Sanders got his. Demaryius Thomas got his. They both got their respective yards. Trevor went off on a road game, and they won, despite everybody hating, despite everybody saying they weren't going to win. With the Bengals being at home, they were favored to win. They lost. The Broncos are 3-0. Let's go to the next game. I'm getting this done early this week. Got the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jameis Winston, Doug Martin, which probably isn't playing, Mike Evans, those boys. Another road game for the Broncos. Let's see if the Road Warrior, Trevor, can come through again and ball out. Let's start with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers defense has allowed 101 points through 3 games. That is the NFL's worst. That means, like you said, worst. There's no team out there worse than the Buccaneers defense. No, that means they allow explosive plays to happen. Long runs, deep throws. That plays right into the Broncos' hands. No matter if they're at home or away, that plays right into Denver's hand. We saw the deep ball Trevor hit Emmanuel Sanders with. And we know C.J. Anderson, from watching against the Carolina Panthers, we know C.J. Anderson can go off if need be. Winston started off pretty well, the first game he did good, but now his touchdown to interception ratio is almost even. He's got 8 touchdowns and 6 picks. That means the man throws a lot of interceptions, which Talib, Harris, and all the no-fly zone will be munching on those interceptions. And like I said, with the Buccaneers giving up so many explosive plays, they actually allow about 88 yards per game rushing. CJ, Mr. Anderson, I'm going to start him in my fantasy this week because he's going up against a team that allows at least 88 yards rushing a game. CJ Anderson, I believe he will get over 100 yards rushing this week. The Buccaneers with that defense, reading up on the stats, they allow around 33 points a game they allow. So Denver's put up 29 and 32 in the past 2 games. They put up 29 points on the road. They can easily put up about 30 on this one. They can drop a 30 bomber, maybe a 40 burger on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even though Tampa Bay's favored to win this game, I really don't see it happening. Not with that defense. Because they allow about 280 passing yards per game. That secondary is garbage. I hate to say it, but you allow 280 passing yards per game. That's not good. I mean, Denver allows about 150, 160, 270, 280. You're creeping into the 300 yards per game passing yards allowed. That's not good for the Buccaneers. That's great for Denver, who Trevor's put up over 2+ the past 2 games. He put up 2 and some change, and I think he might have put up almost 3, maybe 3 this game. Like I said, I didn't watch it. I didn't check the stats on him, except for the 4 touchdowns. But Trevor's putting up around 250 a game, I will say, averaging about 250. So with a team that allows about 280 a game, Trevor should put up probably about 300 this game. So it's looking good for passing. It's looking like Demarius, Emmanuel Sanders are going to feast, and CJ is just going to just run all over him. But that's, like I said, that's on paper. We all know about watching football, you can't win a game on paper. That's how it's played on the field. On paper, the stats, Denver should carve them up. But we have to wait until Sunday to see how this plays out. Now, on the Denver side, it was a little choppy. You know, it's a little roller coaster. They allow about 127 yards per game to backs. Like I said, they got to stop Jameis Winston. They got to stop Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a big target. He's about 6'5", 6'6". He's a huge guy. It's just like going up against Kelvin Benjamin. And they did allow Kevin Benjamin to get that touchdown on him. So they got to stop the big guy. Like I said, Trevor shined on the road last week. He did good on the road last week. He's on the road this week. I see him keep this momentum from last game into this game. And I feel like he should, and he will. And I mean, he might throw one pick, maybe two, but I don't see him going like Eli Manning crazy. Or, as we saw the other game, Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Bucs hadn't even beat the Broncos since 1999. I said, feed CJ, feed CJ, feed CJ the Rock. Gary Kubiak shouldn't have a problem feeding CJ the Rock, seeing as how he loves to run the ball. So CJ should get a lot of touches. So the Broncos, I feel like the Broncos will win this game. I'm going to give them a score 36-16. It's just the stats, man. It's just that defense. The Buccaneers defense is not that great. This is not a good matchup for Buccaneers. It's just not. The Broncos have a team where they have a number one in Demaryius Thomas, but you have a guy who could be a number one in Emmanuel Sanders. So you have two number one receivers. You have a quarterback who's now, they opened up the playbook, looked like a little bit last week, and let Trevor sling it around some. They didn't stall out in the red zone too much. The advantage Denver has right now is there's little tape on Trevor right now. There's not much tape on him. Not much to watch. You only got about 3 game sample. First game he was sort of, they were sort of careful with him. Second game they let him loose a little bit. Last week they let him loose. They let him do his thing last week. Tampa Bay will probably be looking at tape from last week, trying to stop Trevor, which will allow CJ to get off, because they'll be focusing on Trevor because they don't want to get torched, which they probably will, because Emmanuel Sanders is just beast. I'm sorry I hate to say it, but I like him. Like I said, I think I've said it before. I like Emmanuel Sanders better than Demarius. They're close, but Emmanuel Sanders has a slight edge. So like I said, 36-16 Broncos. The Broncos will win. Maybe not 36-16, but they will win. I have a feeling they'll win. And they'll be 4-0. They're defending Super Bowl champs and they're undefeated right now. I mean, yeah, it's 3 games in, but they're looking like champions. Watch New England. You gotta watch New England, because they're undefeated without Tom Brady. You gotta watch them fuckers, because that's all I got for this week. I'm trying to get another video out to you. It might be before the game. It might be like it is today after the game. And I might try to discuss a little bit of the game last week and some of the game coming up this week. But that's all I got for right now. Hit me up on the PlayStation, Broncos_fanatic, and I'll see you when I see you. All right.
Models popping bottles.